Coming up right now on the Budweiser United States Hot Rod Association Championship Series, the event that a lot of people come to see, the monster truck competition here in the Brendan Byrne Arena. And the first vehicle on our track is going to be Headhunter. There's Glenn Meyer at the wheel from Bergenfield, New Jersey, nearby, driving this Chevrolet-powered vehicle.
Brand new. I think Glenn said he'd had it out about 2 weeks. We talked to Glenn just a moment ago about what it's like with the monster truck. Glenn drives the Headhunter monster truck, and we're going to see him in action. Glenn, what happened last night?
Well, I changed the leaf springs around. Last week I broke them up in Connecticut, and we changed it over the week, and the drive shaft turned out to be a little too long last night, so we had to pull it out. We shortened it today, and hopefully today everything will be a lot better than last night's show.
Well, is it back and ready to go?
It's all set, ready to go.
How was the action last night? How did the truck perform other than the drive shaft problem?
Truck ran fine. This is basically about the second show I've done in an arena, really, so I'm kind of new at this and, you know, not maybe as good as a lot of other drivers, but I'm giving it my best shot, and hopefully in time I'll be able to compete with some of the better guys.
Why a monster truck? Why did you build one?
Well, to me, it's like a fantasy vehicle come true. It's always something I wanted to do. I was like, as a little kid, I always liked to wreck things and put them back together, and I really get my kicks out of crushing cars.
Well, some of these cars that they wreck here tonight will be impossible to put back together.
Now, these vehicles, Mike, have all-wheel steering. We're starting to see some street cars coming out with four-wheel steering. But how does he steer the back wheels on this big truck?
There's a switch inside the truck, usually mounted over on the left-hand door, a small toggle switch that controls the rear tires, makes them move to the left or the right by activating this toggle switch that you have on the left-hand door. And it's a very simple setup, operates through hydraulic steering, and it's real easy to do with these type vehicles. And very convenient to have, by the way.
Maneuverability would really be a problem if it wasn't for that rear wheel steering, obviously, because this, I believe this vehicle would have the turning radius of about a parking lot. He's going at him again. And it's interesting to note that car in the foreground, the last car that he rolls over, is a Newark police car. Now, do you think he gets an extra thrill out of crushing a couple of police cars? Because the first two vehicles in that line there are ex or out-of-service police vehicles.
It has to. It has to.
I know I would.
It has to be a rush. A little backup wheeler.
There we go.
For the Headhunter.
Right. He's going to take another shot at that police car there.
He'll bring it to a stop right up on top and shows off the hydraulically operated bed, and he'll stand out for a warm round of applause from the crowd as they take a look at the supercharged engine under the hood. Glenn steps out and gets a round of applause. Beautiful blown motor.
Crowd-pleasing exhibition of monster truck car crushing, police car and all. Actually, the men in blue are to be commended for contributing one of their vehicles out of service for the good of the cause here in the Brendan Byrne Arena. United States Hot Rod Association Truck and Tractor Pull Championship featuring monster trucks, and there's one of them right there. Headhunter and Glenn Meyer at the wheel.
Now, who do you think they came to see?
Bigfoot. Coming out of the tunnel. This is the truck, I guess, that made this sport famous. Bigfoot.
Absolutely. And the gentleman driving it is the man who has brought all the prominent attention. That is Jim Cramer, #1 driver with Bob and Marilyn Chandler out of St. Louis, Missouri. They get ready to put it to its paces. Of course, Jim Cramer has never been one to go lightly on Bigfoot. One thing about it, they use Bigfoot.
Oh,
look at that.
All four wheels off the ground. You said it. Jim Cramer's not babying that truck.
Looked like a missile launch when he went up to the cars, nailed the throttle right straight up in the air, and landed on top of them. Uses that steering. It's just second nature to Jim Cramer, the rear steering. He's been doing this so long. Jim Cramer definitely puts it through its paces as he lines back up. He'll get another shot. There's some of the young fans that are here to see Bigfoot and see what Bigfoot can do. The crowd going wild as Jim Cramer lines up and watch. He's got some speed on this one. He's going to ease into it and watch it hit the throttle. Look at that.
Flash bulbs are popping all over the stadium as Bigfoot goes all the way in the air. jumping over 5 cars, landing on the last one there, a police black and white, and the fans love it.
I talked to Jim Cramer last night about driving Bigfoot and what it was like and what you had to do to prepare to it. And Jim says that the real secret is just to roll till you get within about 3 feet of the first car. And when you get that close, just absolutely nail the throttle, get all the horsepower. Don't let off of the throttle until you have the rear tires hitting the cars, and then you can let off and it'll settle down to the ground. Of course, now that was for an amateur. Jim Cramer, he'll do it just a little bit different. He gets out about 6 feet. Not much of a car there to launch off of. Beautiful job for Jim, though, as he absolutely destroys them. Full protection gear. He's got the fire suit on, the full face helmet on. He's got a neck collar on. He also has a lap collar on. He's completely strapped in the vehicle, and he's doing that. It's all for safety, part of the monster truck industry. And Jim Cramer will step out for a round of applause from the crowd here at the arena, and he really does a great job. First thing he does, though, is check over the underneath of Bigfoot and make sure it's ready for the next round.
Buy a Peerless faucet. Get one of...
Earlier, Mike Galloway talked to Alan Tura about this tank vehicle called Goliath.
Well, Alan, tonight's kind of a dream come true as far as a monster truck driver is concerned. You're going to crush a police car.
Well, I like crushing cars, and police cars are probably more privileged than anything.
Tell us a little bit about the new Goliath truck.
Well, we came out with it about a year ago. It comes on M4 high-speed Army tracks. It's built back in 1944, and 44 years later, Ford put a 1988 Ford sheet metal on top of it, and it's powered by a 460 Ford. The body completely backwards to any other tank in the country. We wanted to utilize the weight balance better, so we put the drive gear in the back, the engine in the back, the transfer case toward the back, and come out with a exceptionally good wheel stander as far as, for tanks concerned. Most tanks can't get it up quite as high, but we get up a little bit more front end clearance because of the weight in the back.
Well, we'll see how high Alan can get it tonight. We'll watch him in just a moment. We come back to action with his M4 tank. The new Ford body set up on top of it with a supercharged Ford motor in the back of it. Track drive vehicle becoming very popular in the monster trucks, destroying the vehicles. These things weigh so much. They weigh about 22 to 25,000 pounds apiece. So when they go to the cars, they destroy them. They just cut them up in shreds, much like running them through a grinder with the big tracks on them.
Well, Bigfoot didn't leave much to be crushed, but if there's any left, Goliath will take care of it.
Alan Tura really putting a hammer to him on this. And when this vehicle was a tank, it would actually be running backwards to what it is now. Boy, it takes a hard beating. There's no suspension. Alan Tura has set up a situation where he has a subframe that the Ford truck fits on, and the subframe is set on shocks, so that helps Alan's ride considerably, but it doesn't take all of the shock of landing on this thing with it. Alan steps out for a big round of applause, the son of Goliath, and it is a nice-looking truck.
Coming out onto the track to take care of what's left of 5 former automobiles is the Virginia Beach Beast, Mike Galloway.
This is Mike Katz's Virginia Beach Beast, and as far as I know, this may be the original track vehicle. Mike is a tremendous driver. He handles this thing like a pro. Watch him on the fly. He really puts the whammy to him.
No hesitation. He went right at those cars from the beginning. Some of the tire vehicles kind of paused at the beginning and then leaped up onto the cars. He just rams right into them and powers over the top.
Willie Townsend built this vehicle and owns it. Mike's the driver for it. This is the only track vehicle that I've ever seen turn over. It laid over on its side one weekend when we were doing some competition. I think you're going to be able to get a shot of those straps that are on the windshield area. There's a strap on each side, and look at the parts flying off of it. But there's a strap on each side. There's a strap. And what that's actually doing is holding the windshield in. The only major problem they've had with this track vehicle is landing so hard that they're popping the windshield out of it. So they've gone to a NASCAR design on the windshield to keep it in place and to withstand all of the hard beating that it's taking.
Well, at the end of our monster truck competition, what used to be some of the finest in Detroit automobiles is now a flat pile of garbage. We'll be back to the Brendan Byrne Arena after this. Well, we've got a special rematch. The fans have voted for their winner in the tired vehicles and the tank vehicles, and it's going to be Bigfoot versus the Virginia Beach Beast.
Jim Cramer makes it look absolutely so easy. And he makes it look like anyone in the world could drive that truck over cars and do the kind of job that he's doing, where he's flying through the air. But I'll tell you what, it's a tremendous challenge on your body and on your concentration. Now, there's not a car left to speak of there when Cramer goes up to it, but he's done it so many times. He knows what it takes to put air underneath the truck. And that's what the people came to see. They came to see a 15,000-pound truck get 6 foot up in the air, and Jim Cramer can do it. Let's watch him.
There he goes, all 4 wheels off the ground again. Bigfoot
Parks it on the end up in the air. Beautiful job for Jim Cramer.
He's going up in the seats to shake hands with the fans. Jim Cramer and Bigfoot, 6. This is the 6th in the long line of Bigfoot vehicles. Now, we've got a little bit of problem with the Virginia Beach Beast here. He's got some of the cars that were crushed hung up in the frame over top of the tracks of the vehicle there. He's trying to back it out. He's not going to let it worry him. He's going right at those cars anyway.
Shrapnel, I would call it. Mike will absolutely take the Virginia Beach Beast and do a war dance on top of it.
He's dragged the hood right off that last car, and he's going to go run back over top of it on his way to the pile of cars one more time. Takes out the trunk lid of the Newark Police Department black and white vehicle there, and he's still got some stuff hung up on that tread.
Well, this has to be the perfect commuter vehicle. And he does it in reverse. And
this is an urban assault vehicle right here.
the first car in line, what was a white car, is no more than 3 inches tall as Mike continues to destroy these vehicles with the Virginia Beach Beast. Mike Capp's doing a great job. He doesn't want to miss a place on him. I think.
How many of you out there have thought about doing something like this? When a guy parked you in on the curb, got a little too close, and you just wanted to ram that other car and run right over top of it? Well, here's a man that's able to live out that sort of fantasy.
You know, about the only thing these cars would be good for now is large frisbees. He's actually sitting on the ground, but on top of cars. There's Mike Cass. A great job. It's been a wonderful evening of competition with monster trucks, 4-wheel drives, and dragster tractors.
A great day of competition, both in the 4-wheel drive, the modified tractors, monster trucks, and more. We've had a great afternoon. This is Brian Drebber for Mike Calloway saying so long from the Brendan Byrne Arena in the Meadowlands Sports Complex in New Jersey. The Budweiser U.S. Hot Rod Truck Bowl Championship featuring the Battle of the Monster Trucks has been brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you. This has been a presentation of Bud Sports, aired through the facilities of ESPN.